all the online viewers as well, all over the world. It's time for us to welcome Greta Salome and Iceland.
The cold, cold night, and we're running now. I hear them calling me, I hear them whispering. They're singing now, we're running home.
So welcome the Icelandic delegation and Greta.
Tack så mycket.
Tack så mycket. Välkommen, välkommen. Walk us through the second rehearsal on the stage.
What was?
Walk us through the second.
Walk you through. Sorry. I think I can say that there's a huge weight lifted off all of our shoulders after this second rehearsal. We had some difficulties at the first one finding the center, because I always do the same choreography, and we were having some difficulties finding the center of the screen and for the crew to line everything up with what I was doing. And then we had, half of the graphics that we had been working on. So I think I can honestly say that we're home.
Wow.
Yeah.
That feels good.
Yeah, it feels really good.
So when you were watching it in the viewing room, you were very satisfied, I can read.
Yeah, we were. We were very satisfied.
Perfect, I'm glad to hear. Do we have any questions from the audience? Yes, please, stand up and you will have a microphone.
Hi, I'm Casper Veltenaar from Eurovision Artists in the Netherlands. You work on Disney cruise ships during the summer, and my question is, which is your favorite Disney character and why? Thank you.
Ooh, now I have to be very careful because Disney is always watching. I do work on the Disney cruise ships, but it's not just during the summers. I was with them for 1.5 years, for the past 2 years. So I would have to say that my favorite Disney character, and coming from Iceland, people usually assume it's Elsa. I can tell you it's not. My favorite Disney character is Merida. I don't know if you know the Disney princess Merida. She's from the movie Brave. She has red curly hair. She's a go-getter. She's a firecracker, I have to say. She is brave, and she goes with her guts, and she follows her dreams, and she is, I think, a perfect role model for young girls. I think she's everything that a Disney princess should be.
More questions from the audience? Yes, please, here.
Hi, Greta.
Hi, Flosse.
I'm Flosse from OJ Iceland, or as we say, Fauces in Icelandic. We know that you're really proud of our language, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot, but could you give us just a small example of one of your favorite songs in Icelandic? Just anything.
I can.
Thank you.
You can use that microphone if you want. It's easier to sing with Anna.
This is one of my favorite Icelandic songs. Ég heyri raddirnar, þær eru alls staðar, og leiðir okkur á heim, og yfir önnuna, og inn í nóttina, leiðir okkur á lokum, hey! Yeah, it was a stunt. It's not my favorite song, I have to say. I have my PR manager right next to me, poking me. But it's, you have favorite Icelandic songs, of course, I think from childhood. Those are the songs that are, the most dearest to you. So I think some of the old Icelandic songs are the ones that I like the most.
How is the Icelandic music scene nowadays?
Have you heard of Björk?
Yes. Besides Björk.
we have some amazing Icelandic artists. You know, Björk of Monsters and Men, Sigurós.
Yeah.
We have amazing artists, and I think it comes from, you know, we're a small nation, but we're a proud nation too, and we're very creative, I think. And I think we get inspired by Icelandic nature a lot. And then, you know, our weather isn't that nice, so we stay indoors a lot. So
It's time to work with music.
why not make music?
Yeah. So, how the process of picking the song, writing the song, fitting it for Eurovision, how was that?
It came quite, I would say, quite naturally. I'd been home from Disney for just a few days, and I was inspired, and I basically just wanted to make good music. So I just sat down at my keyboard, and I usually, you know, I take days when I go, you know, I'm gonna write today, and that's what the day is about. And it was one of those days, and I sat down at my keyboard, and I remember just playing with sounds, and when I got that little tune in the beginning on the cellos, da-da-dum, dum, da-da-da-dum, I was just like, yeah, I like this, I can work with this. So I took it from there, and I wrote it in English, and it was, for me, that was kind of the natural thing for this song. And I wrote it about negative influences and negative voices, but it is an optimistic song. Even though it is about the negative voices, it's really about listening to the positive voices, because they will bring you home. And it's also, it's an encouragement, you know, and I think just judging from the response that I've been getting, messages from people telling me that it's touched them, it's helped them, you know, fighting their negative voices, whether it's their own voices or someone else's. I'm really glad that those are the lyrics.
Thank you. More questions? Yes, we'll start with the lady here in blue, and then we go with the gentleman over there.
Hi, I'm Ruby from Vísir and Fréttablaðið. You are the first Icelandic female composer competing for Iceland in 2012 and now for the second time. Do you think it's hard for female composers to get through the national finals or other pre-selections?
I don't think it's harder for female composers to get through, especially in Eurovision, because in our selections, in the pre-selections in Iceland, it's anonymous. You send in your song and you don't write your name to it, which makes it a fair game. And I think maybe it shows exactly how far we have to go to reach some sort of gender equality when it comes to the music industry, because it is a male-dominated industry, and in Iceland, it's a huge thing. We have organizations that we just founded called Women in Music, because we get, you know, under 10% of all the royalties that goes to musicians in Iceland, and that's a striking number in 2016. But this year we had a record. I think we had a record of female composers in the national finals, and I think it goes to show that when you can compete on an even playing field, I would have to say, you know, maybe we're not so bad. Maybe we can write music after all.
Of course. Yes, please.
Hello, Jonathan Kernan, United Kingdom Radio Development Group. I'm still out of breath watching you perform on stage. What went into the physical side of getting you to where you are now?
Into the physical side, you mean what did I do to prepare? I'm kind of ashamed to say this, because usually I do a lot of like CrossFit and boot camp and running, but it's been a pretty hectic few months, so I've been eating more chocolate than I should. But I think, you know, I throughout my whole life I've always been active. I do a lot of, like I said, I do a lot of resistance training. I do a lot of CrossFit, a lot of boot camp, a lot of running, and I think it's a foundation that I'm happy that I have. You know, doing this choreography, because, you know, my choreographer, he didn't pick the easiest stuff for me to do with singing. But and also I used to be a ballroom dancer, so that I think also helps. Yeah. But I should really cut down on the chocolate though.
Yes, please. Stand up. Get a microphone.
Hello, Greta. Hassan Yusuf from Vision Magazine from the UK. Obviously, you appeared in Eurovision before in Baku. What are the main differences you think there and now?
Obviously, I have a different song, and it's a solo project this time. Even though, I mean, it's a solo project on stage, I have to perform by myself. But I have an amazing team that have been with me throughout the whole process. But in 2012, it was everything happened really fast for me. I was a working musician, but I wasn't at the place that I'm now. So I kind of, it was kind of like being kicked out of the nest, and I had to have a huge crash course in how to be a performer, without having my violin there. And so I think the main difference is not the song and Sweden and Azerbaijan. It's everything that happened in between 2012 and now. I've probably done about 5,000 gigs, and after Eurovision last time, I published my first album. I got contracted by Disney to do a headliner show for them. And that's been a huge opportunity for me, and it's really, I've learned a lot from it. So I think the main difference is that I've grown not just as a performer, but as an individual. And I said this yesterday. I think I have redefined myself as a woman, as a feminist, as a musician, as an artist. And I think that's really the difference for me. And I think I have a strong message with this song, and for me that is the main thing. And coming back with something that's bigger than my song, something that I think is bigger than me, bigger than this competition, it's the message. And that's the biggest difference, I think.
Yes, please, gentleman in the back in the black t-shirt, please stand up and we'll get a microphone.
Hi Greta, saw you last night at the Euro Club, promised you some haggis.
Oh, right. I hope you're not here to hold me up on that promise.
My family's gone out to look for some for you, and I think they found some, but it's not here yet.
I think you can see the devastation in my face.
I know,
I'm trying to hide it really well with my smile.
However, on the way home, we go home to America, stop off in Iceland. Tell me what food I should be eating when we stop off there.
I don't know if you're asking for the same response as I gave yesterday, but I can try. I was just waiting for the go from my PR manager. So we have authentic Icelandic food, but we have very modern cuisine too. So I think you should definitely go have, Icelandic lamb, have some fish. We have some amazing fish. And I recommend this one place. It's called Brygghus. It's right on the pier. It's one of the hottest new places. It's absolutely amazing. So definitely go there. I will give you the address. But then you can obviously go for the more adventurous choice, which would be our authentic stuff like fermented shark and fermented sheep balls. And yeah, this is always the response. People say, to sheep balls, but when I say, no, to shark, but when I say sheep balls here, you're like, yeah, this is the crowd for that, I guess.
How do you plan to use the attention you get now, the recent one during Eurovision Song Contest, for the future? What's happening? Are you under contract with Disney?
Yeah, I will be in June. I'll be with them for on and off for 2 months this summer. But then I have some other tours coming up, and I have concerts, and my year is pretty much full packed. But I am writing my second album, which is kind of in the style of Hearing Them Calling, and I think using this for me, it's about trying to get further with the message. I think it's caused, at least in Iceland, it's caused a lot of stir. It's caused a lot of discussion, and I think it's been eye-opening for me, but I think it's been eye-opening for a lot of other people. And I've been going to schools and talking to kids about the negative voices and how we can silence them with positivity and be a positive voice to others. And I think that's something that it's very close to my heart, and I really want to use this competition to get that message further. Not just on Tuesday, but after the competition too.
And you have had some reactions and some positive ones and people contacting you.
Yeah, I've told this story before. When I was in Amsterdam doing the Eurovision in concert, a girl came up to me after the concert, and when she saw me, she just broke down and started crying. So I kind of took her to the side and we talked for a bit, and she told me that ever since kindergarten, she's probably in her 20s, she said, I've been bullied immensely. And she said that, you know, it's taken her to a really dark place. And she told me that for the last 2 weeks she's been listening to the song, and she told me it gives me hope, and it gives me the assurance that if I listen to the positive voices, everything else becomes secondary. And when she told me that my song gave her hope, that just it just made it all worth it for me. And after that, because I posted that with her permission on Facebook, so I've been getting a lot of messages. Last night I got one message from Venezuela, and you know, it's just those things make it all worth it. If you know that your music can touch people in that way, and if you know that your creation can help people, that's the purpose, I think. I couldn't ask for anything else.
Thank you, Greta. Thank you, the Icelandic delegation. It's time for photo ops over there at the wall.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and good luck.